1975 was packed with disco grooves, soft rock gold, and AM radio staples. But some of its biggest hits have quietly faded from the spotlight. These are 10 forgotten tracks that once ruled the airwaves and deserve another listen. Number 10, Sky High by Jigsaw. A burst of strings and driving percussion set the stage for Sky High, a hit that sounded as if it were made for movie screens and summer car radios. Jigsaw, a British group known more for their songwriting than their fame, delivered one of 1975's catchiest and most cinematic singles. Recorded at Delaney Studios in London, Sky High was originally penned for the film The Man from Hong Kong, but quickly took on a life of its own. Its infectious chorus and dramatic arrangement made it an instant favorite on both sides of the Atlantic, reaching number 3 on the US charts. But as disco, punk, and new wave surged forward, Jigsaw's brief moment in the spotlight faded just as quickly. Still, for anyone who remembers those first soaring notes, Sky High is the sound of 70s optimism bottled in 3 perfect minutes. An underappreciated classic just waiting to be rediscovered. Number 9, How Long by Ace. A smooth bass line and restrained groove carry this 1975 hit, wrapped in Paul Carrick's effortless vocal tone. The song was recorded at Rockfield Studios in Monmouthshire, Wales, and what sounded like a breakup ballad was actually inspired by a different kind of betrayal. Bassist Terry Comer had been secretly rehearsing with another band behind the group's back. But I can't help but have my suspicion, 'cause I ain't Paul Carrick, who would later sing with Squeeze and Mike plus the Mechanics, handled the lead vocals and keyboards here, crafting a track that never raised its voice, but still demanded attention. The production is warm and minimal. No flashy solos, no studio tricks, just a tight, soulful performance built on space and timing. Released in the US just months after its UK debut, How Long climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's the kind of song that's instantly familiar, even if few people can name the band behind it. A quiet classic that continues to age well. Number 8, Lovin' You by Minnie Riperton. It begins with a soft, almost hypnotic melody. Minnie Riperton's voice rising and falling with effortless clarity, each note sparkling against a backdrop of gentle keys and subtle bird calls. Lovin' You was a quiet revolution on the radio in 1975, showing just how far pure vocal expression could go. Written at home with her husband Richard Rudolph, the track was never meant to be a single, but its unique, dreamy atmosphere and impossibly high vocals became its calling card. Riperton's 5-octave range turns the song into something ethereal, personal yet universal, familiar but impossible to imitate. Recorded at A&M Studios in Hollywood, the song shot to number 1 on the Billboard charts. But Riperton herself remained more of a cult icon than a household name.
No one else can make me feel the colors.
Her voice left an imprint that's instantly recognizable, even as the song itself quietly slipped from mainstream playlists. For those who remember, Lovin' You is still a masterclass in subtle, emotional storytelling, proof that sometimes the softest songs linger the longest.
We will live each day
Number 7. Sister Goldenhair by America.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn.
A soft swirl of slide guitar and sun-faded melancholy opens this 1975 chart topper, written by Jerry Beckley and produced by none other than George Martin.
I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree.
The track marked a subtle shift in America's sound, moving away from their earlier folk stylings and towards something more introspective and emotionally layered.
Thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise.
Recorded at the record plant in Los Angeles, Sister Goldenhair came together quickly during a period when the band was experimenting with more studio polish. Beckley has said the lyrics were inspired by Jackson Browne's vulnerability. Not so much a story, but a mood, a snapshot of emotional hesitation.
And I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my
George Martin kept the arrangement clean and open, letting the slide guitar do the storytelling. There's no soaring chorus, just a gentle rise and fall, like the tide on a California shore.
doesn't mean, girl, you ain't been on my mind.
It hit number 1 in June of 1975, and then seemed to drift quietly into the background of soft rock history.
Meet me in the middle, will you meet me in the end?
Number 6. Chevy Van by Sammy Johns.
I gave a girl a ride in my wagon.
It began as a late-night recollection, a snapshot of youth, long drives, and the kind of encounter that doesn't leave a trace. The lyrics unfolded like a journal entry, unfiltered and oddly tender, set against a gentle acoustic groove that never tried to oversell itself. Recorded at the Sound Pit in Atlanta, the track was laid down in 1973 but sat quietly for 2 years before radio DJs started spinning it during slow hours.
Better keep your eyes on the road, son.
It struck a nerve, not just for its casual storytelling, but for the way it captured an entire culture of vans, freedom, and roadside romance. That sudden groundswell sent it climbing to number 5 on the Billboard charts in 1975.
Like a picture she was laying, moonlight dancing home.
Sammy Johns, its creator, never chased the spotlight again, but his one-hit wonder became an unlikely emblem of 1970s youth. Even now, just a few seconds of that first verse can trigger a flood of memory for anyone who's ever disappeared down a highway with the windows down.
She woke up and took me by the hand. Just fell in love in my Chevy.
Let's take a quick pause before we hit the final 5. Which of these tracks brought a memory rushing back? Did one surprise you? Or have you been playing it for years without knowing who sang it? And what's your personal pick for the most overlooked hit of 1975? Tell us in the comments. We read every one. Number 5. Some Kind of Wonderful by Grand Funk.
Got everything that a man could want. I got more.
Nothing polished, just pure rhythm and feel. They recorded it in a barn they converted into a studio, tucked away in Michigan and filled with amps, sawdust, and sweat. It wasn't even their song, but their version hit number 3 and became the one everyone remembers.
Some kind of wonderful. Yes, she is. She's some kind of
The
wonderful.
groove, the claps, the way the vocal swings just behind the beat. It still works every single time.
Some kind of wonderful. Yes, she is. She's some kind of wonderful.
One of the most satisfying hits of the year, and somehow still underrated.
Can I get a witness?
Number 4. Magic by Pilot.
Never been away, hey. Never seen a day break. Waiting on.
It had the shimmer of a summer day and the polish of a band that knew exactly what they were doing. Recorded at Abbey Road Studios with producer Alan Parsons, this single stood out for its bright layering, crisp vocal stacks, and a rhythm that never lost its bounce.
Lazy day in bed. Music in my head. Crazy music.
The band had already made waves in the UK and would go on to score another hit with January. But this was the track that broke them in the US, reaching number 5 on the Billboard charts in 1975.
Oh, it's magic.
It's the kind of song people know the moment it starts, even if they can't always place where it came from. A perfect slice of mid-decade radio pop that still lands with charm.
Never believe it's not so.
Number 3, Jackie Blue by Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Makes you think that her life is a drag. Ooh, Jack.
Originally written about a friend with a habit of disappearing, the lyrics were reworked at the last minute, turning the story into something softer, more mysterious.
Let's go with her and you'll probably find. Ooh, Jack.
Producer Glyn Johns spotted the potential and pushed the band to lean into a smoother, radio-friendly direction. It paid off. The track reached number 3 in 1975 and became their biggest hit by far, a glossy outlier from a group better known for earthy, country-tinged rock.
Ooh, Jackie Blue.
They never repeated its success, but this one still floats through time, polished, elusive, and quietly unforgettable.
Makes you think that her life is a drag. Ooh, Jack.
Number 2, You're No Good by Linda Ronstadt.
Feeling better now that we're through. Feeling better.
The final take came after more than a dozen tries, each one slightly different, none quite landing. When the right version finally came together at Sound Factory in Los Angeles, everyone in the room knew it. Ronstadt's vocal cut straight through the mix, sharp and confident, supported by a backing band that included future Eagles and top LA session players. Though the song had been recorded before, this version was cleaner, heavier, and more dynamic, and it reached number 1 in early 1975. Despite its success, the track often gets passed over in favor of her later ballads. But this was the one that proved she could dominate the charts and do it her way. Number 1, Fallin' in Love by Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds.
Could never see what fate had planned for me. And
The recording session was straightforward. A tight vocal, soft rhythm section, and light production touches that gave the track room to breathe. It was cut at ABC Dunhill Studios in Los Angeles, where the group had regrouped with a fresh deal and a quiet sense of momentum.
maybe you can see all the things you've meant to me. But my
Released in the spring of 1975, it gradually made its way to number 1 by August, carried by smooth falsetto lines and a relaxed romantic feel that matched the mood of the time.
falling in love again.
While the group had charted years earlier, this was their biggest success, and one of the last. Today the song rarely turns up on retrospectives, but it remains a clear snapshot of mid-70s soft pop, calm, confident, and quietly lasting.